Well, good morning everyone. Welcome back to another gorgeous day in Tenerife. Ocean crashing behind me. It is Wednesday the 14th today, and I'm just going to run through a little bit of the news that's been going on the island. A few bits and bobs, nothing too major since the last update we did, but a few people were asking for a little bit of an update, what was going on, what was the general feel from over here, how our business is doing, etc. So I'm going to go through the main bits with you today. All from the Canary Weekly, which I will leave the link in the description for down below, so you can read these articles yourself. Bear in mind, these are my views, this is how I perceive it, and it does change quite often, so just keep an eye on the news. We'll start with Covid numbers, Covid update. 109 new cases in Tenerife today, and Gran Canaria has 89 as they exceed 200 cases again. So going into more specific numbers, the total active cases for the whole of the Canaries is 4,538, and in Tenerife we have 2,429 active cases. The other islands are on here much lower. The second is Gran Canaria with 1,825, so they are the second highest. In terms of local areas like here, Arona, Los Cristianos, Las Americas, we've got 123 active cases. And then if you look at in the north, Santa Cruz 1,282. So you can see Santa Cruz does have a bit of a higher rate, La Laguna as well, than down here in the south. In terms of vaccinations, we did struggle for supply a little bit, but we are improving, we're getting better. Total administered vaccinations is 404,609 in total across all the islands, and the numbers for 2 doses is 118,113. So for the first one, not too bad. Second doses need to speed that up a little bit, in my opinion. So with that little bit of COVID news, I'm going to go to this topic first since it's on a similar track. Brussels expects the Covid passport to be fully operational by June. So the European Justice Commissioner has said yesterday that they do plan to have a digital certificate for tourists immunised with the vaccine, hopefully launched by June. So fingers crossed. There is a lot of talk about it, how it's going to work, what's going to go on with it, but hopefully we'll have that vaccine passport sorted digitally. You'll be able to travel with it. You may still need a test as well for now until they, work the final kinks out, but moving in the right direction, especially with as soon as June. I'm hoping so, because we really need the tourists back July and August. So I do think May, June, we won't really see anyone coming out. Hopefully we do, but I do think we will get a little bit of a trickle in July, August, some families coming over with those vaccine passports and or a test as well. With that, moving on to flights, people coming out. Obviously a lot of you probably will have already seen Jet2 did cancel all their flights and holidays to Tenerife until the 23rd of June. Tenerife loses 120,000 seats due to the cancellation of Jet2 flights. So we are a big Jet2 destination, and with them cancelling those flights, we have lost obviously a lot of potential customers and business to the island. Spain is the destination most affected by the cancellation of Jet2 flights, since it has almost 800,000 seats from the flights that the airline had scheduled between this Monday the 12th of April and the 23rd of June. So just in that time frame we've lost a lot. Bit of a knock-on effect, but there is still a bit of light. EasyJet, Ryanair still flying. That is just Jet2, so fingers crossed if they do work out the traffic light system, the vaccination passport and things like that, you still might be able to come over just with a different airline, but we will see. It's all depending, obviously. It's very hard to predict. So there's that little bit of news for you. It was a bit of a blow, but in general, personally, I wasn't really expecting anything until July and August anyway, so it didn't really come too much as a shock to me, but I know a lot of people were really disappointed by that with Jet2. In some other positive news, Santa Cruz Port welcomes back cruise ships to the Canary Islands. So we are having a couple of cruises stop back in Santa Cruz, which is fantastic for the island, fantastic for Santa Cruz as well. It does bring a little bit of revenue in. The Port of Santa Cruz retakes its role as a base port for luxury ships that make their voyages through the Canary Islands, being chosen by the Portuguese shipping company Mystic Cruises as the base for its World Voyager ship. Lovely looking ship. I'll try and include a picture there. So that will be its base from here. So that is a bit of positive news. They are safely operating with passenger numbers. Not a huge ship, not a huge number of people, but enough to give us a little bit of, 200 people in total on board on that one. But it gives us bits and bobs. It's a positive sign, positive sign. So another little bit of tourism news. Opposition parties challenge the Cabildo in Tenerife to react to tourism much better. They're not too happy with how the Cabildo has responded to getting the reactivation of tourism over here and the help of the businesses. They've highlighted various different things here that they don't think the Cabildo has done right. The nationalists insist that tourist data of Tenerife are very worrying, with the closure of 845 companies in the last year and some 155,000 people unemployed and on the furlough system, the ERTA system. For this reason, they approached the island president, Pedro Martin, for having given up on the summer season, saying publicly that it is very complicated and all hope must be placed on the winter market. So they're not too happy that he's given up on the summer by the looks of it. So we'll see. The Cabildo they govern a lot of things. I have to register all my renter cars with the Cabildo. They govern a lot of what's going on with the tourists. So fingers crossed they can try and do a bit of something for the summer. Personally, I am planning September onwards, I think, but I do hope for the summer as well. But it's not just here. You've got to rely on other factors such as the UK. You've got to rely on them allowing people to travel, the vaccine passport. So I don't think you can blame fully just the Cabildo over here, but at the same time they could have given a lot of more help to the small businesses, done a few different things to try and get tourism going a bit more. But I'll let you decide on that one. The article will be linked below so you can see some of the other factors. It's quite a big article on that one. And the only other little bit of news is that travel between the islands is still happening. So we are having some tourists from mainland Spain and the other islands, but they do need a test to come in. But that does help. We're getting bits and bobs of business. People can travel. They just do need the test to come in, which is good. I'm glad they've kept that on. They took it off for a day or so and then reversed the decision, and they do still have to have a test to get in. Other bits of news, weather is fantastic. In general, it has gone much quieter. We've had a lot of those Britons leave back before the 90-day rule kicked in. We are seeing a lot of the Polish and things like that going back now. Some of those remote workers that had my cars, they've been heading back. So I think this is the quietest I've been as a business for a couple of months. It's really quiet right now. A lot of businesses feeling the same. It does feel extremely quiet out here. But we're clinging on to hopes of the summer, at least just to get us by, and then planning for the winter. I do think it's going to be a busy winter season here, especially November, December, January. I think it's going to be very busy. So cling on in there. We're going to keep planning for that winter season, and fingers crossed a lot of you viewers here, wherever you're from, can come over. It's going to be a gorgeous winter. It's just whether you guys can make it out. Hopefully you can. Other little bits of things we did this week. I did do a big a really nice thing. It was a little bit of a beach cleanup, which is on the channel if you want to check that out. Again, I'll leave the link in the description. We cleaned up one of the beaches down in Golf del Sur. Great little organisation. It was great to get out, have some fresh air. And this beach here in Los Cristianos, where I walk the dog every day, is the next beach. So if you do want to join us for that, if you live in Tenerife, you can come down and help us clean this up. You can stay as long as you want. It goes on for a couple of hours. They provide the gloves and everything. But this is the next beach here we're going to be picking up a load of rubbish from, and I just thought it was really worth a mention. The organisation is called Keep It Clean Tenerife. You can follow them on Facebook. Maybe when you're over on holiday, it might be nice to give up a little half an hour just to help clean the beach up if you're here during one of their cleanups. They're every 4 weeks, but we will be here. The next one is on Sunday the 9th of May at 11 AM right here. What a great place to do a bit of a beach cleanup. Stunning views. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Not too much news going on other than the island is now very quiet. Sad news about Jet2 cancelling the flights, but I did expect it myself. We just have to cling on in there and really hope for July, August, and if not, a super busy winter period where we can really try and, you know, lift the island. But for now, I hope you enjoyed that. Hope you enjoyed a bit of an update. If you did, hit the subscribe button. Drop your comments below. Was there any news that you thought was good or bad? A little bit of a mix. Some good news, some slightly negative. But we live to see another day. I'm going to let you enjoy that view for a few minutes. Thanks very much for watching. Stride on, hit the subscribe, and I'll see you in a week or so for the next update. Hopefully with some very good news. We shall see. Bye guys.